Yes. Don't forget, DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com, DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com. You could go there from your phone, your computer, just bookmark it. Even when you go there on your phone, just bookmark it. You should be checking there daily, at least every day. Just check the site, DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com. There you can get in contact with me with everything, as well as catch some videos that you might have missed, as well as catch the audio version of this podcast, which I will start releasing 2 shows a week, because I do live streams like every night, and most of the shows that I do on the live stream is going to be extracted for the audio as well. So, yes, two shows a week. So I'm going to release like Wednesday and Fridays. So yeah. All right. Also, man, for only $100, I'll promote your content on my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, and Threads. And DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com. Hit me up on Instagram at Doggie Diamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Let's go. So as you come in the room, you hit the like button. As soon as you click on, you hit like. I don't care who's live right now. If they live and you watching them, it ain't going to be as exciting as me. So you might as well just leave their live and come over here. I don't care who live. I didn't even look and see who live. Shout out to them. Everybody creating content. But you are now rocking with the best. You are now rocking with the BEST. So just leave them and come on over here. If you want to hear some good hip hop, some good perspective on the culture, you already know where you got to go. You see that No Filter hoodie? Right there, shop.doggiediamondstv.com. Also on doggiediamondsnofilter.com. You must tune in when I speak about stuff, because only I can put it a certain way. I'm just telling the truth. I gotta tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? I got to tell the truth. All right. Let me stop the music. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV, and this is Doggie Diamonds No Filter. I'm telling y'all to remind me something. I have to do something with this URL, because the URL is inactive right now, and I have to forward it to, I'll do that later. I'll get on that later. I'm the one-man band, you know what I'm saying? I'm Mr. Make It Happen. So, Tupac, we got to keep it in the vein of Tupac. We got to get, keep it, don't ever say me and somebody's on a level, fam. Don't ever do that, because I'm on a level by myself. Shout out to everybody who do their thing, but I'm on my own level just as anybody else to say they on their level. Don't compare me to nobody, just like I know nobody want to be compared, me to them to be compared to me, and I just don't do that. Respect who you respect, like who you like, but we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We not doing that. I'm Doggie Diamonds. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I give everybody props who deserve props, but I'm not going to let you do that or anybody else tell me what level I'm on. We're not going to do that, okay? You don't get to do that, all right? You're not an avid donator. You're not an avid supporter. So you don't get to tell me what level I'm on, okay? So, now that we got that out the way real quick, and shout out to that man, but I'm Doggie Diamonds. Anyway, special ed on Drink Champs. Okay. I was ignoring it. It was a statement that was made, and I started seeing it heat up on my Facebook. And it was a lot of my comrades. I had Che Black, I had my brother Bumani, and I had my brother Rich Ross. They were debating. There's a lot of people debating whether Special Ed said what he said, whether what he said had some truth to it. Get them likes up, too. Get them likes up. Come on, man. I ain't going to be telling y'all the same shit every night. Come on. Y'all hit like on stupid shit. You can hit like on this real. Come on, man. Ain't no begging. Ain't none of that. Hit the like. And for anybody who say, oh, how do I know if I like it? That's how I determine if I hit the like. You hit the like because you supporting me. It's not about whether you like the content or not. You're supporting me. Right? So, if you didn't hear what Special Ed said, I want to refresh you, remind you, or let you hear it for the first time. So we're going to go to my favorite source of information, because they clip a lot of stuff and put it on there. We're going to go to Twitter. All right, we don't need the music, so we're going to stop the music, but we're going to go to Twitter. So this is what Special Ed said on Drink Champ. Shout out to Nori and DJ EFN as well as Special Ed. Let's go.
NWA brought the age of destruction.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
NWA brought the age of destruction to our children and our culture.
Wow.
Period. Hey, I respect all of them as men.
I want to get it without the music. The music is a little off-putting a little bit. So if I can find it without the music, because I did have it without the music, but I don't know what I did with it. I don't know what I did with it, because I don't want them to flag me because of that music. So they might try to get a little weird about the music. But long story short, it was a part where, no, well, you know what? If they flag me, I'll mute it later.
Jesus Christ. NWA speak on the art form. I'm going to tell you what it is. That's where it starts. The art form, and you want me to speak on the art form, I'm going to tell you what it is. That's where it started.
Wow.
That's where the agenda started, and that's where the destruction began.
Of gangster rap, you will give that to them?
NWA ran away with it in such a way where it was like, for real?
Word.
That's all we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, it was genius for them, and they made millions of dollars off of it, but look at what it caused. You
They
feel
said
me?
fuck the police early.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what Special Ed said. Now, do I agree with Special Ed? Because the question was Wu-Tang or Special Ed. You know how Nori does the Special Ed. He does the G-Unit or Dipset, and the people either take a shot if they don't want to answer, or they say what they want. Do I agree with Special Ed? Does Doggie Diamonds agree with his Brooklyn brother Special Ed? I need a drum roll. Where's my drum roll? Do I agree with him? Absolutely not. I don't agree with Special Ed. Absolutely not. I don't agree with Special Ed. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to qualify these statements of why I don't agree with Special Ed. I don't agree with Special Ed because saying that this started the agenda is cap. Reason why it's cap, because gangster rap did not start on the West Coast. It started with Schoolie D in Philly. And Just Ice, and it started on the East Coast, gangster rap. Schoolie D might be credited as the first gangster rapper. Just Ice called himself the hip-hop gangster. Even on Self-Destruction, he said, I was known as the gangster. Schoolie D might have started gangster rap. He's from Philly. That's East Coast. NWA, although they had a look that we didn't know, because we didn't know nothing about their look. We didn't know nothing about their culture. All we saw was Colors. Colors was a movie to us. Colors came out in like 91. We was little kids in 91. So we didn't understand if this was real or this was a movie. Come to find out, this is really how they was living. Of course, it's going to be exaggerated for a movie, but this is how they're living. So when NWA came out, let's listen to the music they came out with. NWA, we're not talking about Eazy-E and the Boys and none of that. We're talking about NWA. Compromise Your Mother. So, well, let me get into that really quick. I've been compromised. How? How I've been compromised? Compromised by who? Compromised by what? See how y'all say stupid shit? I'm compromised. When I'm independently funded, independently doing my thing, but I'm compromised. Your mother's compromised. Anyway. Oh, you don't know who Schoolie D is? Get him out of here. Get that person out of here. Because you need to do your research. And no. Don't say brother. Don't say brother after the fact because I'm not your brother. You don't know me. But let me finish. Get them up out of here, though. That Brian individual, moderators, they gone. So, what I want to say is, first of all, let's look at it like this. NWA, what was their first song? Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From a gang called Niggas with Attitude. Now, the second song they made was Express Yourself. That was a positive record. Express Yourself was positive. Dre said, I don't smoke weed or cess cause it known to give a brother brain damage. And with brain damage, a nigga can't manage. They made a positive song called Express Yourself. Was a single. NWA. So now you looking at NWA. Now, it's NWA versus Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is for the children. Respectfully, that's home team. Were they really for the children? NWA, thank you, Hostile P, for supporting my independent voice. But you said respectfully, NWA took it to another level. They had songs about killing women, but who don't have songs about killing women? Did you never listen to Schoolie D? Y'all never listened to Schoolie D? They also said, fuck the police. They also said, fuck the police. That's not positive? That's not conscious? That's not positive and conscious? So it's in comparison to Wu-Tang is for the children. Are they really? We all love Wu. Wu made a lot of great songs, but are they? Come on, the Wu-Tang for the children thing is a little exaggerated because they was talking about on the record sniffing coke. They was selling coke, sniffing coke. We gotta stop certain narratives in this culture. We gotta have Wu-Tang was a hardcore group. Let's stop that. Like they was some positive group. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. That Wu-Tang was a positive group for the children. And the MGM coked up, psych. They have records where they was like, so at the end of it all, they did We All in the Same Gang. Thank you, Double O. Thank you, OG. They did We All in the Same Gang. But we didn't understand their culture on the West Coast. That's how they lived. It wasn't no agenda. That was West Coast. We didn't understand it. And respectfully, when I look at people like Special Ed, who made a lot of records I liked. I got a made classic record. My favorite record he ever made was You Wish You Could. But, how Wu-Tang, we talking about doing. But, Special Ed didn't know how to pivot. He didn't know how to pivot in the culture and make music that was relevant to the times of what was going on. So he fell victim like a lot of people that fell into this is what's going on And I don't know what to do. I'm not hardcore. I'm not soft. I make this music, and that music was out. He didn't know how to pivot, because if you look at EPMD, the Big Payback video, who's in that video? NWA. NWA went on tour with Run DMC. With Public Enemy. They were told if they perform Fuck the Police, they're going to jail. What did they do? Fuck the police. That's one of the all-time. So how is that the destruction of the culture if it was talking to the sign of the time of the street? We did not understand the West Coast. We didn't understand jerry curls, colors, khakis, what they call glasses, lokes. We did not understand. So when they were doing something, we look at it like, oh, they over there, they fucking shit up. How? That's their culture. That's their culture. How did they mess up if they represented what was going on in the West Coast? So without NWA, you would not have that political, radical, conscious Ice Cube. That comes from NWA. So saying NWA brought bad to the culture, that's cap. The corporations brought bad to the culture. You can't blame NWA for that. You can't say NWA did that. You can't, because that's just saying like the West Coast. That's basically saying the West Coast fucked up hip hop. You know that, right? Because everybody on the West Coast is an Eazy-E baby. All of that come from Eazy-E. All of that come from Eazy-E. So you can't do that. You can't say that NWA was bad for the culture. Nah, fam, you just didn't know how to pivot. That's just the realest shit. You didn't know how to, because when you came back in, I never go back. I never sell crack. You know, when you came back in, you ain't really know how to fit in. You didn't know how to fit in. So again, saying Eazy-E was bad for the culture. And again, y'all keep spinning regurgitation, unfounded debunk shit. There's an agenda. You saying Ice Cube, you saying Eazy-E went to the White House, so it was an agenda. So did Kanye. So did Steve Harvey. So when dudes go sit down with Obama, there's no agenda. Quavo was just with Kamala Harris. There's no agenda. What's the agenda when Quavo go dance with Kamala Harris and Kamala Harris is buying collard greens? What's the agenda then? What's the agenda? How come it's only an agenda when it's a Republican, but when it's a Democrat, it ain't no agenda then? When Obama said his favorite rapper was Young Jeezy, ain't no agenda? The Snowman? Obama said the Snowman is his favorite rapper? You can't ban the Snowman? So there's no agenda when most of these guys were lobbying for a Democratic president, but it was an agenda when Eazy-E met with Reagan. He got invited to a dinner, a luncheon. There's no agenda now when Cardi B is talking to your fucking president. There's no agenda? Y'all got to stop the cap. Y'all got to stop the cap. And what it's showing is something that harmed us. It harmed us because we have an East Coast bias. We do. We have an East Coast bias. We have a New York arrogance. And we looked at everybody else all over the culture as they did this, they did that. Because now what do they say in New York? Some of the brothers in New York say what? The South messed up hip hop. Dudes don't say that. Dudes don't be saying that. The South messed up hip hop. Trap messed up hip hop. Everybody messed up hip hop but New York. Everybody messed up hip hop, but nobody in New York fucked up hip hop. So again, gangster rap was the new wave. That's not NWA. That is the code of what's happening on the streets. Now, was more kids on the streets in LA wearing khakis, Dickies, Pendleton shirts? They didn't know nothing about black medallions and all that shit. They didn't wear, because the Panthers didn't wear. They're the babies of the Panthers. Panthers was wearing berets and leather jackets. They didn't know. They didn't understand that. So when we look at them, we like, yo, hold on, man. What the hell they wearing? Well, we call them out here. We call them lumberjack. They call them Pendletons. So we had New York bias. So we looked at everybody all over like they fucked shit up. NWA fucked it up. They had a group called South Central Cartel. Them niggas' names was Havoc and Prodigy. How they gonna take Havoc? Maybe that was their name. We don't know. But we didn't understand the culture. Because now, with there being Crips and Bloods in New York City, you started understanding a little bit more, even though some of the blood thing in New York has nothing to do with the West Coast. But that's a whole nother story. But again, we have to stop blaming other people for what happened to hip hop. Sometimes you just didn't know how to adapt. Sometimes you didn't make a big record. It was a part. Biggie was responsible. Kwame was out with polka dots with high flat tops and blonde in it. Kwame made dance hip hop feel good music. Biggie said, played out like Kwame in them fucking polka dots. So if you wore polka dots, it was a rap. Jay-Z dissed jerseys. So if you was in the culture of hip hop wearing jerseys, he was like, put button-ups on. So it was people in New York who was saying shit about New York that changed the perception of how people was dressing. Understand what I'm saying? It was people in New York that did a lot of fucked up shit. And we just never gonna admit that. We never going to admit that. King of New York, what was the movie? That was Schoolie D, all in the movie. It just so happened that they had certain movies first. They had Boys in the Hood. We had Juice. They had Menace. We had like Belly. We had different movies, but it was more to our cultural based on how we were raised. So when you say NWA brought destruction to hip hop, niggas made express yourself. They gave you Ice Cube. You understand what I'm saying? So we could say, yo, they dropped all these acts because, you know, they wanted to get rid of conscious hip hop. I do agree with that. But conscious hip hop could have went underground, which that's where it's at now. It's underground. It's underground. Conscious hip hop is underground. And the consciousness that y'all want to call consciousness ain't consciousness. Because I'm going to tell y'all again, Kendrick and J. Cole is not conscious rappers. They're just not, because I ain't going to front, J. Cole rap a lot about pussy. As he should. Heterosexual man, shit. But he rap about a lot of box. He say a lot of raunchy shit too. So I don't know how that's conscious hip hop. He's conscious that he wants some box. You know? So NWA birthed a lot. And if it brought on the destruction of hip hop, what were we doing over here? So you're saying, so what you're saying is that NWA brought on the destruction of hip hop and New York niggas is biters. That's what you're saying? Because that's really what you're saying. Because if they started gangster rap and they started gangster rap and they brought on the destruction, we emulated that shit. We started copying them. We had our Pete Rock, CL Smooth. We had our group. But Biggie, even though he represent the East Coast, he was Brooklyn, Unbelievable, certain records, but certain songs sounded like the West Coast. We got to be honest. If we going to be honest, let's be honest. Machine Gun Funk, West Coast. Big Papa, synth song, West Coast. Going back to Cali, West Coast. The World Is Full of Pimps and Hoes, West Coast. Too Short is on that. So that's like saying we copied them. So again, we can't say that they brought a destruction to hip hop. Onyx, thank you, Rich. Onyx. I mean, we want to talk about the hip hop groups. Listen, niggas out here was worshiping the devil. You don't remember We Get So Live, Evil Live? Nigga call himself. Niggas out here was worshiping the devil. You don't remember horrorcore? They was worshiping the devil in some of these raps. So you gotta stop the cap. You can't blame shit. It's just culturally, shit has a lot to do with where they was, where you at, and the music was the sign of their time. Because you remember that them West Coast niggas was out there in the riots, man. They end up getting a gang truce from rioting. The Rodney King verdict, they tore shit up out there. All them West Coast dudes that so-called brought a destruction to hip-hop, they started making positive songs. That's where Ice Cube comes from. Hit him with the brick, now I'm dancing. To get some respect, we had to tear this motherfucker up. Ice Cube said, in Cali will we riot, not rally. Y'all ain't even get what he said. In California Love, he said, in Cali will we riot, not rally. West Coast dudes tore shit up. A few times they rioted. The old Watts riot before our time, and then in 92, riots again. So again, I don't blame NWA for the state of hip hop. I blame the corporations. And in New York, shit, we was the forefathers, and then we started copying everybody. It's just the truth. There's no originality. Everybody want to make a song, New York, this, that. Oh, come on with them New York songs, man. Niggas be making New York songs. They don't even live in New York. Live in Jersey. Live in Fort Lee. Most of these niggas live in Fort Lee. And again, you right, when that Chronic dropped, Traveling Man, shit. That was it. And the first people, I believe, to do interludes, a.k.a. we used to call them snippets on albums, was De La Soul. But remember, the West Coast niggas was doing them shit. That shit sound real. They would do like little drive-bys and this shit. Like, yo, they really killed somebody in the middle of the song. Them Ice Cube shits, them NWA shits. We really believe that shit. And again, just me, somebody who fuck with NWA, we not gonna act like niggas over here wasn't on no bullshit, because they was. Yo, KRS-One first album. That shit wasn't no positive album. Listen to my 9mm go bang. Criminal Minded. Maybe his first album was Criminal Minded. KRS-One didn't really get that conscious until the second album, after Scott LaRock was killed. That's when KRS-One got on some conscious shit. His first shit was Criminal Minded. He's looking out The second album, he's looking out the window. The first album, he holding a pistol. He had one of the greatest diss records of all time against East Coast people on that album called South Bronx. And the bridge is over, too. So what do West Coast got to do with that? Hey, Miss Parker. I like saying that. Hey, Mrs. Parker. So Boogie Down Production first album was some gangster shit. A lot of niggas' first shit was some gangster shit. I'm just saying Special Ed is from the era where they was wearing like blazers and slacks and shit like that. And then when they stopped wearing that shit, he didn't really know what to do. And Cool G Rap probably made like two positive records, Erase Racism and Don't Curse. But other than that, Cool G Rap was out of his mind on them songs. Straight up. But I will say in New York, we had diversity. So for every Cool G Rap, you would have LL. But see, even on the West Coast, they had Tone Loc. They had Young MC. But look, we called them whack. When they had positive music, we called them whack. We wasn't over here on some, if you want it, we got it. I wasn't letting bust a move. We wasn't fucking with that. So they tried to have positivity on the West Coast. We just was calling the whack. MC Hammer, we didn't shit on Hammer on the East Coast. We dogged Hammer. We dog-walked Hammer on the East Coast. This is a fact. We dog-walked him. And he from the Bay. He from the town, Oakland. We dog-walked Hammer. East Coast dudes shitted on Hammer bad. And he was positive. We was calling Hammer whack. We was calling him whack. You know what I'm saying? We was shitting on Hammer. Third Base was shitting on Hammer and they was white. We dog walked Hammer. But I liked come on, we was like Young MC. Then they was the first nigga named Young. Really think about that. He was the first nigga named Young. Now everybody call themselves Young. But he was young first and we call him trash. Remember he had that shag in the back? We wasn't fucking with Funky Cole Medina. Trash. Sir Mix-a-Lot from Seattle. We was calling him trash. Ma hoopty. We was like trash. We was trashing everything West Coast. Even Too Short, when he came out and his mouth looked like a jack-o'-lantern at one point, before he got his jibs fixed, we was dissing. I'm just keep it real. No, we got to keep it real with this East Coast shit. Got to keep it real. And I'm not as old as some of the OGs, but I'm from that 90s era. When the 90s started, about 92, we was dissing all that shit. We was, that nigga can't rap. Them nigga was whack. Because we was the dudes who wanted to stand in a corner. Niggas wanted book bags on their back. And they wanted to be like this in the cypher. They wanted to be, everybody wanted to rap like this. So if you wasn't rapping like that, niggas was like, yo, that nigga whack. Skins when I everybody was rapping like that out here. Everybody was rapping like that. Talking about Skins and 40 in the blunt. But Grand Poobah was doing that shit, but he was dope. Grand Poobah's the father of swag rap, to me. You had Slick Rick and then you had Grand Poobah, but we was out here on some niggas was swinging their dreads. This shit was weak out here. You came in front. Shit got kind of whack out here too. Shit was whack. Niggas was in the village. Niggas was hanging in the, these rap niggas was hanging in the village. I ain't never. Swinging they dreads. Tap the 40. Every video had, niggas, every video had niggas on the corner with hoodies on. See, that's what it was. We was kind of mad at the West Coast. Them niggas had scenery, niggas had palm trees and 6'4s. And I'm like, oh, look at them girls. No BBLs, bikinis, all that. We had abandoned buildings, lots, corner stores, hoodies, and 40s. And we thought the video was dope. Everybody was out there like this. You remember that shit? Niggas out here doing this shit. Busta Rhymes wasn't the father of this. Busta Rhymes would just go, row. What made you do that? So we can't cap. That shit was corny too. Nigga said chickadee choco, the chocolate chicken. Chickadee choco? What the fuck is chickadee choco, the chocolate chicken? And then he got gangsta out of nowhere. And what was the gangsta shit? It's that NWA influence shit. There's really, you can't see, y'all can't be, we gonna call it down the line, we gotta call it down the line. This nigga was wearing Dr. Seuss hats and shit. That shit wasn't dope. Nigga would just go, rah! The fuck was that for? What the fuck happened to him? Somebody pinched that nigga or some shit? What the fuck is wrong with Busta? He still do that shit. Chickadee Choco, the chocolate chicken? The real cock diesel, the man they be flipping. Yo, Busta. We can't blame them. We can't blame them. We cannot blame the West Coast for bringing the destruction. We got something to do with that as well. And in New York, I don't know what it was, but I'm going to say from like 92 to like 94, everybody was like, I'm crazy, I'm psycho. You don't remember that shit? Redman had tissue in his fucking nose. Method Man had a fake eye. He had a Fetty Wap before Fetty Wap. Is it real, son? Is it really real? Niggas was drinking beer on the bus. So we gotta stop capping like they fucked up hip hop. We had something to do with that shit too. Niggas like, oh, I'm sick, I'm psycho, I'm crazy. What the fuck that got to do with anything? So we gotta stop. This shit was whack too. It was corny. Remember when Dinko D said the D to the O in the middle INC? I was like, just walking like me. The nigga, it was a fidgety burn. What's the fucking fidgety burn? That's what he said, fidgety burn? They made songs about not having a car. Fucking sob story. So, I think about taking my own life. Niggas was crazy. That is 100%. Oh, and E-Rock Ski, blame him. I was trying to leave it alone. I had it in the back of my medulla, but I was trying to leave it alone. We started that step into the realms of chaos shit. We started that shit. Step into the realms of chaos. I'm crazy. Niggas used to have on no ass shirt with a book bag on. Tell me I'm lying. Niggas out here was dressing like bums too. You couldn't say that out here, nigga had on a fatigue suit, he didn't think he was fly. Nigga had an army jacket on with the army hat and the army pants and some boots. Woo! You couldn't tell us we wasn't fly. But we was looking at them like, fuck that nigga got on a where he got a lumberjack on. Fuck them niggas always wearing shades for. That's what we was saying. We was bums. We used to wear hoodies, champion hoodies and boots. Everybody was walking around dressed like they was in juice. Facts. Everybody was walking around dressed like they was in juice. How Bishop dressed, that was New York at one point. Straight like that. Niggas was playing boots, playing ball in boots. Running full courts in boots. So what the fuck did we add to? What did we fuck up on? What we ain't fuck up nothing? We ain't had nothing to do with that shit? So how could we say that they brought the destruction? What the fuck did we do? We didn't add on to nothing? I think we added on too. I think we had something to do with that. I just think, again, it was the sign of the times. That's how we was dressing. But where would special ed have fit in any of that? He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have fit nowhere. So he could say, yo, they brought the destruction to hip hop. Yeah, special ed was in juice on some pretty boy shit. I remember being mad young when we watched Juice in the movie. I was in the movies watching Juice. And when they show him, these girls start screaming and shit, I was like, man, shut the fuck up. Me. Yeah. But again, there's always been times in the culture. I mean, we had a lot of wild shit on the East. I ain't even going. I started, oh man. Even LL started getting gangster. Remember, the first version of Jingling Baby wasn't that. That was, the second version we heard was Uncle L, Future of the Funk. The original version is, they call me Uncle L, Future of the Funk. Listen to it. Special ed didn't know how to pivot. That's all. He didn't know how to pivot. He didn't know how to fit into what's going on. And unfortunately, a lot of our family from the East Coast, they blame everybody else but theyself for not being able to find their way into the culture. Because the issue is, a lot of dudes, you got demoted. So if you was on Profile Records, for you to go to Profile to a certain record label, you looked at it as a step down and you were egotistical. So even Run DMC went to gangster. Ooh, what you gonna do? Never let a punk get away with murder. What was the sound in that song, What You Gonna Do? It was a synth sound, trying to sound West Coast. And I know Onyx wrote that too. Never let a punk get away with murder. Gunshot, gunshot, all you heard of. Ooh, what you gonna do? That was Run DMC, Rev Run and Deacon DMC. What else do I gotta say? So, NWA is responsible for that. By that time, Ice Cube was conscious. Ice Cube was conscious. Ice Cube was cut his Jerry curl off. He had Dr. Khalid Muhammad all over his album. Ice Cube was more conscious than some of these conscious dudes on the conscious side. And sold millions of records with conscious hip hop. That shit Ice Cube was saying will never be able to be said again in hip hop. Ever. Ever. That shit that Ice Cube was saying? Yo. Horny Little Devil, Black Korea, No Vaseline. Did you hear what he said about Jerry Heller? That shit will never, listen, it will never, ever be able to be said in hip hop again. Ever. Seriously. Ice Cube was on one. He was on one. So, yo, that shit was different. That shit was different. So yeah, it wasn't an agenda. It was an agenda from the landscape of the corporations, because unless you're selling beer, none of this music, unless you're selling beer, weed, blue chews and shit, none of this music fits. That's why they had Sprite commercials, they had Mountain Dew commercials, they had certain things that they were trying to push. Not like Sprite and Mountain Dew is good for us either. Shit, it's not as bad as beer, but it's bad. It's bad. Then they had St. Ives juice. Ooh, Crooklyn, New York. Ooh, said KRS-One had beef with X-Clan. Conscious dude going out of conscious dude. And reason why they beef happened because X-Clan didn't like that humanism shit. Remember, KRS-One tried to get on some Malcolm X shit, on some I'm for humans. Everybody else was calling them fucking devils and crackers and shit. Even white dudes. The Gas Face by Third Base was about white people. Must have been a white guy. Listen to Gas Face by Third Base. They said a disease that was created by leprosy. They was talking about they self. Listen to Gas Face. You gotta listen to it different. Now, what did Third Base bring? They brought MF Doom, aka Zev Love X. But them niggas was talking about white people. MC Search. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. So it took the white boys to be calling them devils. Must have been a white guy that started all that. So, again, we had some corny shit over here, too. Because Gangsta Bitch, I love that record, too. Apache, rest in peace to Apache. Gangsta Bitch? I need a Gangsta Bitch. A Gangsta Bitch. Q-Tip produced that, too. Look, I remember on one of these tapes, Q-Tip was rapping to the first Shook Ones. Because Shook Ones that we like is Shook Ones Part 2. I want y'all to know that. That's not Shook Ones. That's Shook Ones Part 2. I got you stuck off the realness. That's Shook Ones Part 2. That's not the original Shook Ones. Q-Tip, I forgot what mixtape it was. He was rapping on the original Shook Ones. And I remember him saying, to you West Coast niggas, we will bust your shit. I remember that. I'm going to find it too. We had young black teenagers. We did have young black teenagers. That was all East Coast shit. So how was the destruction came from them? The destruction came when we didn't stick to our guns. And I want to say this too, though. I do want to say I do want to say this. Because of Special Ed's opinion, because of his thoughts, he does not deserve to get death threats. He does not deserve to get threatened. He does not deserve to get people telling him, you know, we still going to get at you and all that. I mean, we'll get at you and all that. Because I think Exhibit said some shit we active. Respectfully, Exhibit, I know you embrace the West Coast. But fam, you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Chill. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because everybody has everybody has the reason, their reasoning, and everybody has the right to say what they want to say and have their hip hop take, because you're talking about the culture. So all that, we still active out here. Exhibit, didn't niggas bust your shit though? That's why your lip is like that, respectfully. Niggas bust your shit. You got some get back for that? So don't take no hip hop take as we active out here and all that. Don't do that. If he feel like NWA messed something up, then you speak intelligently, you speak proper, and you make your point. Why is that every time we disagree, we always gotta, oh, we'll fuck you up? But why? And you got your shit bust. Let's just be real. You from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And your record label was on the East Coast, Loud Records. So you got a lot of love on the East Coast based off of you having to go to Loud Records. Don't forget that too. So stop doing that, because this ain't no East Coast, West Coast shit. Special Ed has an opinion, which if 50% of the people agree with him, fine. If 50% of the people don't agree with him. But how does that resort to violence, though? How does that resort to, oh, we'll do this. That shit is corny and it's immature. And some of you guys who be saying this shit is older than 40 years old. So y'all gotta stop that altogether. Stop saying when you don't agree with somebody, it boils down to a fight. That shit is corny. Or we'll do this to you because you don't agree. Stop. If you agree with Special Ed, fine. I don't agree with him, but I don't think Special Ed should get harmed for his opinion. That was his point of view. He didn't know how to pivot. He didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Remember back in the days, the girls would be playing double dutch and doing this and trying to get in the rope. He didn't know how to get a jump. That was it. Special Ed didn't know how to get a jump. He didn't know how to get back in that rope. When he did, he came back, I'll never go back. And Special Ed was the first person to use what became Can I Live for Jay-Z. He used that first. That's Isaac Hayes. So again, like, stop, man. Just continue pimping rides, my nigga. Don't start talking about violence and no shit like that. Like, that shit is stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. It's stupid for not agreeing with somebody and they gotta boil down to fighting or, you know, whatever. Even people sticking up for NWA, a lot of the West Coast brothers speaking up for NWA. Dr. Dre still alive. Ice Cube's still alive. So is Ren. So is Yella. Let them talk. If you wasn't in NWA, don't say nothing. We don't want to hear from the minions and you just, because that's his. Oh, you sent the NWA? Yeah, I'm telling you, the Q-tip rapped over them. He said, to you West Coast niggas, we will bust your shit. Facts. But this ain't no East Coast, West Coast shit, for one. Two, Ice Cube guy, what happened to the Gatekeepers tour? He ain't go on tour yet? So let him talk. Let Dr. Dre say something. Yella is still alive. Ren is still alive. Let them speak. That's his point of view. I don't agree with it. But when we start being violent and everybody that don't got no relevance or don't got nothing to say and this is your time to pound, that's one thing about niggas too I don't like. We ain't no fucking podcast or why you pick that shit to just be like, oh no, shut up. Shut the fuck up. All y'all niggas shut the fuck up. Ain't no podcast. You defending NWA. That's how he feel. Dr. Dre ain't too big to speak. Let him speak about how he felt. Said I'd rather hear from Little Easy or something like that. But you know what happens with a lot of times, man. Poverty. Because let's keep it real. And I'm going to give respect to Special Ed on one thing. All y'all niggas over there was going, I'm your idol, the highest title, numero uno. All y'all did that shit. Don't front. So we not going to do that. He don't deserve to get beat up because all y'all was on something. I'm your idol. I got it made. Fire. But it was at a time where, niggas was dancing. Niggas was over here was, doing the Running Man. Remember, niggas was even saying MC Hammer couldn't dance. That's how, I ain't going front, man. I'm an East Coast dude. I'm a Brooklyn dude. We did hate on everything, though. I ain't going front. We hated every fucking thing. We hated everything. Niggas over here doing the Running Man. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I wasn't no dancing dude like that. I have a good two-step or some reggae come on. I'm grabbing somebody, daughter, and we doing our 1-2. I wasn't never doing no Running Man. I wasn't doing no Running Man. Niggas was doing the Running Man spinning. I just didn't do the Running Man. I just wasn't no Running Man ass nigga. They was doing all types of shit over here. Matter of fact, what my man praying? I'm gonna bring a dancer on here too and tell you how it was. I wasn't doing the Running Man. That just wasn't my thing. I'm from Brooklyn, from the Star. We wasn't doing all that. How I'm gonna do the Running Man with boots on? Cause I ain't never wear them stomp shoes out here either. Don't forget, niggas out here was into that house music too. I ain't do no house music. I ain't do no house music. That I house your body and all that? Nah, fam. You wasn't housing nothing. No, I ain't do that here. Prance Low, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Prance Low. He just hit me too earlier. I wasn't doing no Running Man. I wasn't doing none of that shit. I didn't do none of that. None of that shit. So when MC Hammer came out and was doing all that shit, I was like, fuck is he doing? He had on them pants too. I didn't fuck with house music because I just didn't fuck with house music. Something about that house music, I knew it was dudes that we fucked with. No, I wasn't fat then. Get off my dick. You know what I'm saying? It's something about that house music. Niggas was jumping out the closet like a Resident Evil zombie when that shit came on. When that boom, 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 boom. Yo, you see certain niggas start doing shit like, yo, what's wrong with fam? Yo, he go that way? Nah, something about that house music. When that shit came on, boom, 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 you start seeing certain dudes. Yo, why you dancing like that? You see a nigga voguing? Nah, fam. That's why I never fuck with house music. Because I was like, nah, that shit is for them. Let's keep it real. I never fucked with it. I never played that shit. I was a DJ. I never played that shit in a party. I never blended that shit. I never blended it. I never fucked with that shit. But that house music come on, you start seeing niggas doing stomp and all types of shit. Nah, fam. Nah, not the kid. Y'all did what y'all did. I never did. Why y'all keep saying I did the Harlem Shake? Y'all niggas is weird, too. Get y'all fucking Mercurio niggas the fuck up out of here, man. Mercurio, get out of here. Why you worried about how I danced? Do I look like I was doing the fucking Harlem Shake? I was Harlem Shaking your pockets. Going in your pocket, seeing what you had in there. Making you run me your money so I could go get me some beer. That's what I was doing. Wasn't never no dancing, nigga. I was doing the Harlem Shake. Y'all was going in your pocket, making you take your boots off. I would take your gold tooth out your mouth and take it to the scales and get $4 for it and go buy some beer. So shut up. Fuck, I look like I was fucking Harlem shaking or doing some weird ass dances. Never did no shit like that. I was taking your boots off, taking your sneakers off. Oh, nice jacket. What size is it? Let me see. Dead on this. That's what I was doing in the parties. Deading you on your shit. Oh, let me see that watch. What's that? A Casio watch? Oh, let me see that. Dead on this. That's what I was doing. Fuck, I look like I was dancing in parties. No, I was booking y'all niggas. While you was in there voguing. Yeah, okay. Look right down at your sneakers. Yo, what size he wear? Them shits look like 8. That's me. I'm scaling your shit. That's what I was doing. So cut it out. Never was in there dancing. I was in there looking to steal. That's what I was doing in the parties. Like I'm fucking from Boston. Straight up and down. In there like, yo, hold on. Don't have on no little chain. You running that. You running that jewelry. You running them rings. All that shit. And don't have on a fly coat. First of all, your Nautica jackets, you was dead on that. Ocean Pacifics, you was dead on that. Anything polo, you was dead on that. Your hat. I take your hat off and put it right on my head in front of you. I ain't know if you had lice. I ain't know if you had bad dandruff, nothing. Let me see that hat. I'll adjust your shit right in your face and put it on me. What you gonna do? Jan Sports, you dead on that. Lead patches, you dead on that. Everything, you dead on that. Run everything. So while you was dancing around, I was scheming. Seriously. That's what we was doing. Starter jackets. Don't have a Raider jacket on in my hood. Listen, you know how many times y'all niggas went home with no sneakers on? No sneakers. You went home with no sneakers. No, but the boots? Hold on, he got what? Nah. Taking them boots too. You guys stink feet. We'll figure it out later. But for now, you gonna run them boots. Jerry G's, your triple fats. Till he was like, oh, you got it. A triple fat goose. Straight like that. 8-ball jackets, dead on that. Any medallions, any black medallions, dead on those. Because remember, snapbacks wasn't this style, because snapbacks used to have the net in the back. I don't know if y'all remember that. Snapbacks used to have the nets. So if you had a fitted, remember fitteds at one point was like $25. So if you had a fitted, niggas would be like, yo, let me see that hat. Don't let it fit his head. You dead on your hat. You dead on that. This is just a fact. You was dead on all that. Sheepskin? Nah, I wasn't sheepskin era though. Sheepskin is before me though. That's before my time. I ain't gonna front. Sherlin? You dead on that Sherlin? You got on a Sherlin? Oh, nah. I'm gonna have to take that from you. We were taking just Sherlin everything. Taking every fucking thing. So y'all be in there dancing. Us Brooklyn niggas was looking to take your shit. Straight like that. Starter jackets, you dead on that. We taking everything. You came to the party with a coat and sneakers. You left with a t-shirt and socks. That's just a fact. So you think I was in there goofy dancing? I'm like, nah. I was in there straight up and down looking how I can acquire some more beer. So when Debo said, what you got on my 40, homie? That shit was real to us. We was like, yo, what you got on my shit? Yo, walk me to the store. For what? Because you about to buy me some beers. Listen, we had sawed-off shotties. And we used to wear a hanger, a string with a hanger, and the shotty was on the hanger. This is a fact. Trench coats was for shotties. This is just dead serious. But we was taking everything. So, was I ever robbed? Never. I never been robbed in my life. I got my ass whipped before. I got jumped before. I got stabbed on. Yeah, I got fucked up. Hey, man, you could give it. You better learn how to take it. Yo, when I got stabbed, let me tell about that story real quick. But when I got stabbed, I was in the emergency room laughing. And they was like, what you laughing at? I'm like, yo, if this is my consequence for all the shit I did, I gotta wear this shit. I gotta wear it. They finally got me. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say nothing. Niggas got me. It was my turn. I was sleeping. I got. I remember this big nigga punched me in my face before. I was mad little. This big nigga punched me in my face. All I know is I got hit. I was like 14. This nigga was like 19. You know, at one point, when a nigga was 14 and a nigga was 19, he was like grown and shit. Now in age, you know, we look at it, nigga be like 20 and a nigga 25, that's cool. But the nigga was like, I'm like, yo, this 19-year-old nigga punched me in my face. Yo, punch me in my face. See, you must be a Brooklyn, because I ain't going to do the Queens homies like that, but we didn't really, I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to say nothing bad. Shout out to all my Queens niggas, but that's a female saying, why were the Queen dudes always corny? We thought like that too, Brooklyn dudes. We did. But I ain't gonna front. This nigga was mad. This nigga was old. When a nigga 19, because you know when you hit 18, you feel like you grown. Yo, this nigga fucking punched me in my face. But it wasn't like a fair one though. They had us outnumbered. And he just swung on me. Like, yo, I remember niggas popping shit. Niggas swung on me. I'm like, how the fuck I got? So, yo, we had fun times though, man. We had fun times. Glad we didn't really hurt each other that bad. And a lot of people are alive, and people who passed away didn't have anything to do with what we were doing at that time. It was just isolated incidents. But, you know, for the most part, that shit was wild, man. Sometimes I just reminisce, like, what the fuck was that about? Like, sometimes I think about that shit. Sometimes I be like, yo, what was that really about? Why did I say? Because I'm going to be real with y'all. We would be sitting in the crib. This is pre-computer. This is pre-cell phone. This is pre all that. This is when you calling girls house phones, and you like, hello, may I please speak to? So you couldn't call somebody crib and say certain shit. So you'd be like, hello, may I please speak to Diane? Who's calling? Don't say no Doggie Diamonds. Who? What your mama name you? Now me. Let me tell you about me. I was respectful up to a certain extent. Don't disrespect me. I don't care who you are. I'm going to respect your mother. I'm going to respect your father. But you ain't going to talk to me like I'm no fucking clown. I don't do that. So I would say my name. I would keep it real. But, yo, at the end of it all, you be on the phone with somebody for like an hour. Remember, you ain't have call waiting back then. Grandmother come in the house, my aunt come in. Who the fuck was laying on that phone for 2 hours? I've been trying to call for 2 hours. And remember, you always had that one family member, phone boning. Like, yo, man, I got to use the phone. Hold up. That's a fact. You laid on that phone. You remember the first girl you laid on the phone with? I think the first girl I laid on the phone with, her name was Felicia. I used to call her every day. Yeah. How did I meet Biggie? We from the same neighborhood. We from 2 blocks over. It's like not even no introduction. Like, it's Fat Chris. You know what I'm saying? Back then I was G-Dog, though. That was my name. I used to wear all Georgetown shit because they had the G and the dog. So people, when I showed Georgetown, sometimes people would be like, I remember that. But listen. So we used to lay on the phone all day, go to sleep, wake up, first person you call them when you got out from school. We used to get crazy. Then, remember, the phone was always in the adult's room. You don't remember that? It wasn't no portable back then. Portable, you was living high in the hog if you had a portable, because remember the antennas was metal back then. You used to have to click different channels. You hear me better? You hear me? All right, that's a good channel. You couldn't go too far from that base. So, you have a portable. You was living life. But before that, you had rotary. Then you had the buttons. And then they made these long ass cords. So now the phone was able to go all over the house via that long ass cord. Straight like that. So you'll be in the crib, you in the bathroom. Who in the bathroom? Nah, I ain't using it. I'm just on the phone. How long you been on that phone? Get off that phone. You running up my phone bill. Yo, I'm gonna hit you back. Yo, and listen, you young, you talk to certain females, yo, they moms wild on them on the phone. I done heard chicks got smacked. I done heard chicks get balked. And you on that phone all day, you ain't even wash your ass. And you like, damn, my mom's balked on her. Who you on the phone with? Click. Straight like that. Yo, some chicks used to get violated. They family violate them. Yo, violate them while they was on the phone. Just straight up violate them while they was on the phone. That was just the wildest shit. You been on that phone all goddamn day. Who the fuck you talking to? Like, damn, yo, your pops be on one. And then you know me, y'all knock your old ass pops out. And don't let them have an older brother. Like, yo, your older brother is pussy. Niggas will come to your crib and fuck your older brother up. That shit was just... But you know what's funny, though? In those times, you remember what song was out, what dance was out, what sneakers was out, what everybody was wearing. Now, it don't really... The music don't speak to you like that no more. The times... It don't really speak to you no more. It used to speak to you. It used to be times where you remember certain things based off the music. You know what I'm saying? And then remember you would click over. No, this was the fucked up shit. You be on the phone. So after a while, everybody got call waiting, right? Star 60, you remember Star 69 and call waiting. So you had call waiting, right? And I be on the phone. And you hear boop, 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 boop. And you click over. Hello? Hello, yes, can I speak to Ted? He sleep. Nigga be sitting right. Yo, he sleep right now. Could I take a message? Then later on, be like, yo, such and such call for me? I don't know. It must have been when I put the phone down on because I had put the phone down real quick. Yo, I ain't gonna front. I was kind of foul when I think back about that shit. I had to atone for a lot. I was kind of foul. Because I always made music. So since I was young, I always made music. Since I was like 15, I always made music. So I always had a studio equipment, right? So it was at a point in my life where the music was more important than anybody and everything. I've always had, I guess, girlfriends. I guess I had girls that liked me and shit. And I would fuck with them, but the music, making beats was everything to me. Like, I got this equipment. I don't know how to use it. So I'd be like, yo, what time you leaving? So it might be like 11:30. And the girl be like, I gotta go home. No, not 11. They say it's after school. It's like 4 o'clock. And they're like, I gotta be home by 7 because I gotta get home before my mother get home. Me? It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock. If you think I'm chilling with you from 4:30 to like 6:30, you out of your mind. If you think I'm walking you home, you out of your mind. I ain't even want to walk you downstairs. So what I would do, what time you gotta leave? 6:30. What I would do, it's 4:30. I would say, sit right here. I would go in the room, make some music. Be making my music. 6:10, come out the room, get some action. Because you know when you're young, you don't need like 20 minutes. Got some action. I know she got to leave. But I wasn't sitting up under them. Like, I wasn't into no sitting up under you cuddling shit. And I don't want to watch none of this shit. I watch Video Music Box with you. That's about it. But, yo, I would get some action. Like around that, like 6:10. And then you got to go anyway. So, hit me when you get home. I was fucked up. I was fucked. I ain't even gonna lie. I was fucked up. So even girls that I knew since I was young, they'll be like, you still with that music? You still crazy with that music shit? I'd be like, nah, I chilled a little bit now. I'm better now. I've changed. I've grown. I've matured. But back then, oh man, them fucking, I used to know music, I used to know everything. Everything. I used to know everything, like who did the kick, who did the snare. I used to do everything. You know what I'm saying? But part of me being like that is because it was the sign of the times. It was the culture. When you went out, how many numbers you got? You know, now we could, I could see people and not say nothing. But back then, how many numbers you got? Yeah, I got 6 numbers. Some of that shit was written on your hand. You walking home like this, you don't want to sweat, don't touch me, don't touch nobody. You had to call people's house. And there was a particular time where you would call people crib, and there wasn't no area code at one point. The area code came later because 718 wasn't our area code. 212 was Manhattan, always. That was always Manhattan, 212. Then when 718 came, he's like, what is this 718 shit? I had a beeper. They played me for my beeper too. Cause remember beeper bills was like $21 a month. And then they had all these codes on the beeper. They had people leave you 666, 911 and all this shit. You gotta go beep them right back. Oh man. I used to get a lot of 616. I used to get hellos. I used to get all that shit. But I could say when I was young, I was mean when I was young. Maybe I was mean. You know what? I don't even really think I was mean. I just think I didn't give a fuck. I kind of knew what mattered. I knew what mattered. Back then, I knew a lot of shit didn't matter. I knew that it didn't have anything to do with what I wanted to do. So that's like even when people were like, when everybody got introduced to weed and cigarettes and shit like that, I used to be like, that shit stink. So I never did it. You know what I'm saying? I just always thought cigarettes stunk. I never tried a cigarette in my life. I never even tried it. I don't even know how to smoke. I never tried weed ever. I never took a puff or pull. None of that shit. I just didn't do it. It just wasn't for me. I was just like, nah, I don't. That shit look whack. And I'm telling you, it was different deterrence. See, I was always conscious of certain shit. So when I used to see people roll weed and I seen niggas lick all that shit like that, I was like, nah, I ain't putting that. And then I would see niggas say, damn, this shit mad wet. Wet from what? That nigga spit? Nah. Nope. I was never gonna smoke. Once I seen niggas licking that shit, remember some niggas lick it? They would light it, I'm supposed to put that shit in my mouth after he licked it? Nah, no, I ain't smoking. So that's why I never smoked. Never. I used to see niggas lick shit that I knew didn't brush their teeth. I used to see niggas lick shit that I knew this nigga was nasty. Straight like that. So I never smoked. Never smoked a cigar. I think that shit, I just think people do shit to think they look cool. And you really look fucking stupid. It's like, you ever see niggas now? Niggas be smoking cigars and some rich nigga shit. Let's just keep it real. You do something, you light a cigar. I be seeing niggas, fuck out of here with that shit. Man, you pop. I just loaned you $300. You smoking cigars. I ain't never smoked a cigar. I just never did that shit. Just never. Never smoked cigar. I never did none of that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. And again, I just never did shit that I didn't want to do. I never succumbed to peer pressure. The only time I succumbed to peer pressure was when it came to being ultra violent and thinking that I had to mess with a lot of girls. That was it. Because it was like, I have a big family that's predominantly male. So, when they girl come over, they'll be like, oh, your cousin is cute. I got a cousin for him, or my homegirl or whatever. And they be like, yo, she said she got a friend for you. I said, but like, so fucking what? That's how I was. I tell you, I was fucked up. And I remember times, I'm telling you, you bring that friend through for me, yo, I hurt your friend's feelings. I walk right in there. Nah, you ugly. And bounce. So Brooklyn, when we do this, that's word to everything. I walk right in. Yo, you came? Nah, you ugly. Nope. And I bounce. Then next thing you know, one of my mans fucking with her. I'm like, so? Give a fuck. She was ugly, nigga. Y'all niggas fuck with anything. I never fuck with no ugly girls. I gotta be able, and then niggas try to play Jedi mind tricks on me when I was little. Come on, man, so what? Pussy don't got no face. She do. Pussy don't got no face. But she do, though. Nah. I haven't fucking with no, you wasn't attracted to me? Nah. I was not fucking with you. Give a fuck. I remember this girl. That's when I knew I like real big ass titties too. I remember this girl, if she's watching, hey, I remember this girl named Trina. She was my cousin, baby mother cousin. She used to always come in my room and fuck with me. I used to be like, yo, why the fuck you keep coming in here every day? Like, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'd be asleep. Who is it? It's me. Yo, get off my dick. Leave me alone. I'm never fucking with you. Just stop. It ain't gonna work. Like somebody else. I'm just telling you, I would just never, like, we be at hooky parties. It'd be like 5 dudes, 10 girls. I look. Nah, I'm good, yo. I'm out. Where you going? I'm going to school. I'd rather go to school than to fuck with these ugly ass girls. Dead ass. Yo, I'm going to school, and I hated school. I wasn't going to school. That's why these niggas got ugly baby mothers. Listen, let me tell you something. All these dudes who think they fly, all these dudes who act like they players, and they just, look at their first baby mother. Look at their first baby mother. Before the rap, before the jewelry, before the drug dealing, before the fame. Look at their first baby mother. I bet you she looked like a fucking howling wolf in the face. I bet you. Look at nigga's first baby mother. Nah, not me. I was like, nope. You're not catching me. And even back then, condoms, we didn't know shit about AIDS. I was like, I ain't having kids with these chicks. We didn't know nothing about catching a monster till Magic Johnson. Just really think about it. We didn't understand that. We thought AIDS when we were little was some Mercurdio shit. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, when it was first came out, it wasn't called AIDS. It was called GRIDS. So it was called GRIDS, and GRIDS stand for, you got the grid. And they would say, GRIDS stood for gay-related infectious diseases. And when it first came out, they were treating it like cancer. So we didn't understand what it was. And then when Magic Johnson caught that shit, we was like, shit, hold up. But Magic Johnson could have been a Mercurdio. Because he was kissing Isaiah Thomas and shit. Nah, I'm only serious. But yeah, so they wasn't catching me. I was like, nah, I ain't having no bitches with none of these fucking hussies. Not me. No sirree, Bob. Not I. So, and damn, so I was like, damn, I might have been like in my shit. Mid-20s was the first time I had got action without a bag on. Facts. I just was like, nah, fuck that. We in a relationship though. So? Nah. Fuck you. And you know what's funny, right? How I was for my protection. And there's a little piece of me that wish I never stopped being like that. And the piece of me, I thought I had to stop being a certain way because I was blocking my blessing. I'm like, damn, you can't be mean to people. You can't be just telling people fuck them in their face. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't be doing that shit. You can't. And then I was like, yo, man, you know, you gonna die old and lonely. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be nice to somebody. And I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna try this shit. I'm gonna try to be nice. My dumb ass. I should have just stayed mean. Sometimes I think about that shit to this day. So, yeah, the whole teenage years of experience, I never had unprotected sex in my life. Never. I don't give a fuck if you was my girlfriend. I don't give a fuck what you was. I was straight up, yeah, Andrea Bradshaw, condom irritation. So what? You gonna be irritated then. You just gotta wash a little extra. Put some tussin on it or some shit like that. Because I was not fucking around. And I think it happened when I was in my mid-20s and I lived with a female. We lived in the same crib. And then, you know, you ain't going to be in the crib living with somebody. You with them every day. That's the first time I was, like, doing that shit unprotected. Other than that, nah, I always had bags. I ain't play that shit. Like, nope. You ain't potentially being my baby mother. Nah, I was like, fuck that. I told y'all the condom story one night, right? My cousin played me. I just didn't get no action. Any other nigga would have hit it Rex Rawhead. Not I. Nope. I was like, well, won't be getting no action. See, my cousin, look, Uncle Tad, that's my cousin right there. He know I'm telling the truth. Yo, wasn't doing that shit. We used to be like, yo, what we used to say? You got prophylactics? Remember that shit, Tad? Yo, you got prophylactics? Yo, let me get a prophylactic. Straight like that. We just would just, and he could tell you, we would, yo, chicks was ugly, we would go on to school. We play hooky any other time, but if they ugly, we go on to school. Like, yo, them bitches is ugly, let's go to school. Straight like that. But yo, we had so much fun growing up because it was so many men that we was around. And one thing that we did, though, we protected the ladies, whether they were older ladies, younger ladies, our age, a little bit older. Like, we protected the shit out them. So shout out to all the women that we grew up with that we just had friendships with, that we grew up with, because they was protected. Like, we ain't let nobody fuck with them. And we were so territorial and so grouped together that somebody could come and say, yo, they did this to me. Psh, we gonna fuck them up. There was a school where I lived at called Sterling. Sterling was on, what's that? It's not Vanderbilt. That's Claremont and Atlantic. Sterling was a 600 school. If you don't know what a 600 school is, 600 school is like a special ed school, a school for kids that don't know how to act. We gave them niggas some act right plenty of times. One time, so my window where we lived was on Fulton Street. We was able to face Fulton Street because we used to sit out the window, bag chicks out the window and shit. So one time we see, it was K-Mel. Was Nino there? Who was with K-Mel? It might have been Nino from Junior Mafia. K-Mel, another Junior Mafia nigga. Name was Bugsy. They was walking down Fulton Street. Like, yo, where y'all going? Yo, them niggas in Sterling try to front. We coming. Ran outside with them. So now it was like 7 of them. Now it's like 17 of us. Went up to Sterling. Kicking ass at Sterling. Kicking ass at Brooklyn Tech. Kicking ass at Lachlan, Pratt, 113. We didn't really play that shit at 258. Them niggas in the style was a little different. They used to have older niggas up there though. Yeah. But yeah, that's good reminiscing, good story time and shit like that. But you know, as a youth, we had a lot of fun. We didn't know any better from a lot of shit, so we just did shit that was the sign of the times. And the West Coast dudes did what they did based off of what they were exposed to. The East Coast dudes, it was different because let me tell you something, and I want you to understand too. In New York, when you was a rapper at one point, you was looked at as a clown. See how everybody rap now? That shit wasn't like that back in the days. At one point in New York City, if you was you were doing that rap shit, that's what people used to say to you. So you had the street dudes always. You had the Flatbush Massive. You had dudes from Flatbush Getting Busy. You had dudes all over Brooklyn, but nobody wanted to be a rapper. You were called a clown if you was a rapper. Like, you'll be doing it. Yeah, my man be doing the rap. So dudes would take you to the parties. You're going to get on the microphone and you're going to rap. You're going to make tapes. Because I was a DJ, so I used to make tapes for dudes in the hood. And it's not like how it is now. Everybody rap. Everybody want to rap. At one point, niggas was looking at you. No, I didn't go to Claver Place. Claver Place had the chop shop over there. Hope it ain't still there. I doubt it. But so the hustlers in the street dudes used to throw parties, book rappers, as far as get them to perform, throw the block parties, you know, do stuff like that. So special ed being from New York, gangster rap wasn't always in because the gangsters in New York wasn't rappers. So you got to remember that the gangsters in New York didn't want to rap. They were making street money. They was out in the streets hustling, gambling, jostling, pimping, whatever they was doing. The West Coast, they were still doing all that shit rapping. So that was the difference. So when the hustle changed to the street dudes in New York rapping, I believe Special Ed didn't fit in nowhere. I believe that he didn't have a place. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that rap shit wasn't universal like it is in New York. You know what I'm saying? Now dudes who rap in New York, some of them really put in the work that they said they did, unfortunately, but that shit wasn't like that in New York. It wasn't a rap group on every corner. You might go through a hood, it might be like 2-3 rappers in the whole projects. You know what I'm saying? That's why Queensbridge was so infamous. But you got to remember, it's mad buildings in Queensbridge. It's like fucking 96 buildings. Did y'all know that? Queensbridge projects is like 96 buildings. It's mad projects in Queensbridge. 90 fucking 6. So of course you're going to have that amount of rappers. And then you got one of the most famous producers of all time, Marley Marl, living there. You got Shantae, they getting radio spin, Mr. Magic. So of course that was going to influence that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That was going to influence that neighborhood. But other than that, nah, everybody didn't think they could rap. People would let the rappers rap. The hustlers hustle. Then when the hustler mentality and the rapper met, that was it. So now the hustler is a rapper. You could talk about selling drugs in your raps. So now you're introducing Jay-Z and different people that was talking that shit. Because, you know, dudes basically was, you know, Jay-Z probably was one of the first rappers from Brooklyn that was actually big time, was a big time hustler, drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else that I knew of wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Not Biggie, not nobody. They wasn't big time drug. They wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But Jay-Z was, you know, was a hustler for real. You know what I'm saying? Like getting money hustler. So he brought that element. And then when Master P made Bout It, you know, and Ice Cream Man, and he was talking about that shit, that's when the floodgates was open. Like everybody was going to talk about, you know, rapping. And yeah. But Jay-Z really was getting money like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he really was getting street money. Don't listen to Phase on Love. How the fuck do he know? You know what I'm saying? He's not even from New York. But I know why he's saying that though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, street dudes did have more money than the rappers. That's why they were booking them. They would have, the street dudes would throw birthday parties for themselves, and it'll be like hosted by Dougie Fresh. And then Dougie Fresh would have to go there and rap. You know what I'm saying? Because he got paid. Or they would throw boat rides and different shit like that. Do yacht parties, and, yo, the yacht party, LL's coming through. So, you know, the girls and everybody was like, woo, but some of the jewelry that they had on the rappers was drug dealer jewelry. This is just a fact. Like if you look at the Haven was like the chain that Jay-Z had on and Jazzo had on, that was his jewelry. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, listen to Coach. He said, you won't get this level of hip hop history and content anywhere else. Continue and like and share. You are appreciated. Yes, you are appreciated for sitting here with me. I am absolutely bonkers. One thing I do know is I do know the culture. I do know the culture from the music, from the streets to the production. I don't know any me or Deceptinet. Woo! I don't know any me's on here. Shout out to everybody who do what they do, but it ain't too many people that's like a triple threat that can talk about the culture from the culture aspect of knowing it, from the business side, from Murder Gang. Jay-Z wasn't. You cap, Doggie. What's your father name? Your father's a style legend. If your father wasn't in, do you know Jay-Z didn't hustle in Brooklyn though, right? You do know that, right? And I don't like when y'all niggas be saying you cap or some shit like that. Cut it out with that shit, because I just really, really get triggered by that. Because on some real shit, a lot of y'all niggas wouldn't talk to me like that, man to man. Like you wouldn't. So what am I capping about? What do I gotta lie for? I'm not on Jay-Z payroll. Everybody knew he was getting money and hustling. Them niggas was on boats, they first video. That was financed by them. So what are you talking about? Niggas is weird. Your father was a style legend. So? You already know everybody in Brooklyn is dudes who got money all over in Brooklyn. I'm not on his payroll. I don't have to big him up. It's just the truth. What I gotta lie for? So you think Biggie was a big drug dealer in Brooklyn? You think Biggie was the biggest drug dealer in Brooklyn? You think he was really the king of New York? That's what you think? Anyway, as I was saying, see, I was in a good mood. My spirits were high. You see? You cap. What I gotta lie for? What am I lying for? What I gotta lie for? I ain't on nobody payroll. I'm just telling the truth. So it just so happened that Jay-Z fucked with Calvin Klein, big hustler. Danny Diamonds, big hustler. DeHaven, big hustler. But he wasn't no big hustler. Anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. From the streets to the culture, business side, creative side, production, and just good old stories. Yeah. That's me rolled up into one. So, yeah. I'ma holla, man. Until next time. In Brooklyn, there's legends all over. That's why, respectfully, to a lot of people that say, yo, this person, Brooklyn is, depending on what area you in, is who ran the area. Nobody ran Brooklyn. Nobody. You might have got respect different places, but nah, it was certain places in Brooklyn, they didn't care who you was. And it was places like East New York and Brownsville, that was hell. Straight like that, because in East New York, at one point, it wasn't nothing but empty lots and empty buildings. That's why they called it new lots. They were looking for new lots to sell slaves. Did you know that? That's why it's called new lots. Van Sicklin was a slave owner. He's buried out there. Van Sicklin. And the original Murder, Inc., the Italian and Meyer Lansky is from Brooklyn. Al Capone is from Brooklyn. So the gangster shit started with them in East New York. So, anyway, hope y'all enjoyed my little presentation for the night. Just make sure, if you need promo, for only $100, I'll promote your content on Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, Threads, and DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com. Hit me up on Instagram for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Shout out to the Super Chat gang. Anybody who put something in that Super Chat, anybody who sent me a Cash App, I appreciate you, as always. Until next time, I'm out. Tomorrow's the 1st? Damn. Rent due. Mortgage due. I'm out.